Díomh Corda Kia koto. My name is Fiona. I'm in Christchurch and I'm speaking to you from my house that also contains my husband James and my 4-year-old daughter Cara. I work for Cara Consulting. We are a leadership, wellbeing and learning partner. We help people and organisations realise their potential and improve wellbeing through coaching, workshops and programmes that are grounded in our unique frameworks and enhanced by tools that we've carefully selected to complement and scale impact. We also provide insight and advice for projects, policy and strategy related to leadership, wellbeing and learning. The event description says I'm going to talk about practical steps to take to support your well-being during this time and beyond. But actually, I'm going to talk to you about leadership. We all have leadership roles in our lives and have the opportunity to be leaders regardless of our job title. We lead teams in our workplace, we lead colleagues, we lead in our families, we lead in our friendships, we lead in our relationships, we lead in our communities. Every day when we wake, we have a whole day of opportunities to lead ahead of us. How we choose to lead ourselves and lead others is how we choose to care for our and their well-being. Now that I've changed the question from how can I support my well-being or the well-being of the people I lead at this time to how can my leadership of myself and others at this time have a positive influence, would your answers be any different? I'm going to speak to the 4 aspects of well-being and leave you with a key question you can ask yourself each day for each aspect. What actions will positively influence my physical environment and well-being today? Dress for the social and work life you want, not the social and work life you have. What does that mean? We all need a duvet or PJ day now and again, no judgment here, but if you have one of these every day, it is going to have a negative impact on your well-being and your productivity if you're trying to work. Shower, put on your work clothes, shave, it will make you feel good, and following your normal pre-work routine will also trick your mind into thinking it's work time. How am I going to move my body today? Even if you're not someone who does a lot of exercise normally, you're probably underestimating the impact of walking from the car to the office and back, walking from meeting to meeting, walking to get some lunch. If the furthest you're moving right now is from bed to bathroom, to kitchen table, to the kettle, this will be massively influencing your mood, your body, and your work. There are lots of things you can do without straying too far from home. Up and down the stairs a couple of times a day, stick on a podcast and walk around the house, inside or out, until it's done. Put on your favorite mixtape, showing my age there, or album, and give it loads for 5 minutes a couple of times a day. And that's all without leaving your house. Maybe you can incorporate some fresh air too by walking to the end of your driveway and back a couple of times, or even a short walk or jog around your local area. Not everyone is as lucky as me to have an in-home personal trainer who has me and Miss 4 boxing and squatting every day. What actions will positively influence my social well-being today? When you're having your breakfast, write down the name of at least one person you are going to connect with today and how. Sending a text message, it's a nice thought, but both of you will benefit from some face-to-face conversation and connection, or at least a phone call. It's actually biology. So when we have genuine conversations and connection with other people, we release a hormone called oxytocin, and it makes us happier. Setting boundaries, it's an important part of our social well-being. You may not have agreed with me on that 2 weeks ago, but I'll be willing to bet that a lot of you do now, having been cooped up in your homes with others. While it's a fantastic opportunity to spend time with family members, don't give yourself a hard time if you're struggling with it. We're not used to it, and that's okay. Talk to the people in your house about having your own space at times to do your own thing. And if you're juggling and sharing childcare and work, allocate sometimes if you can where mommy and daddy are out. Don't feel that you have to spend every waking moment with people, which is pretty extreme shift from what you were doing maybe 2 weeks ago. Setting clear boundaries is actually the kindest thing you can do for yourself and others. What actions will positively influence my mental and emotional well-being today? The things I've spoken about that influence social and physical well-being will also influence your mental and emotional well-being, how you think and how you feel. That's how well-being works. It's holistic. Each aspect influences the others. Slow down to speed up in the right direction. So this might sound counterintuitive, but it works. And this is something I struggle with personally, as I often go 100 miles an hour, get excited by lots of things and spend too much time in the future, rather than being where my feet are. I heard that expression a couple of years ago from All Blacks mental skills coach Gilbert Inoka, and it really stuck with me. Be where your feet are. What helps me to slow down, to speed up, is taking the time to prioritize my tasks and plan my day. Tick off the urgent first rather than the important, and that's highly motivating. But less is more. If you have 10 priorities, you have none. So ask yourself, what's the minimum expected output today? Make a small list, get through it, and anything else you do is a bonus. It's going to feel good, I promise. A second thing that helps me slow down is to practice mindfulness. This helps with increasing focus, reducing stress, and even influences our interactions with others. This can be done as an individual or team activity. Just try it before you discount it. If it's good enough for high-performing athletes, it's good enough for me. What actions will positively influence my spiritual well-being today? So spirituality is a broad concept with room for many perspectives. Now, in general, it includes a sense of connection to something bigger than ourselves, and it typically involves a search for meaning in life. It can mean different things to different people, just like well-being. What works for me might not work for you. So let's initially focus on the purpose of your work and your business. If you are working or your business is operating, reflect on the purpose of your work. Is the why still the same? If it is, ground yourself with that. And then it's thinking about what's the how? How does the how need to change because the why hasn't? Knowing your purpose and the goals you're trying to achieve gives you something to focus on and work towards. If you're not working, consider what goals you can set for yourself at this time to give you purpose, meaning, and something to focus on. Maybe it's picking up an old hobby or starting a new one. What are you working towards at this time? On a more personal level, what are your values? What are the values you want to live in alignment with at this time? What matters to you? Let me share a story about how we're doing this in our house. So my work is in leadership support and development, and James is a leader in his own business and on the football pitch. We're both always looking for ways to learn ourselves, and we want our family to benefit from this time together while we're on the roller coaster. We have decided that we will have a theme of leadership for this time in lockdown and maybe beyond, and use it as a time to talk to Miss Four about leadership, what that means for her and our family, and what are opportunities for us to be better leaders in our family, in our relationship, and as individuals. So we've made a poster with Cara and made a list of some of the things we can do to demonstrate leadership, including being kind, taking responsibility, brush your teeth, dress your bed, etc. Asking for help if you need it, and doing your best, even if your best is only 30% on a particular day. We're far from perfect, but you don't have to be perfect to try. This value is giving us meaning, purpose, and something that is bigger than us as individuals. You could try something like this in a team of colleagues at this time too. While these are ideas you can apply in your own life, you can also share them with family members, colleagues, and community. Think outside the box and adapt these ideas to suit the context. In all of your leadership roles, either at home, at work, or in your community, one thing that would have the greatest positive influence is asking the question, what do you need to get through, to do your job, to feel good? You're not guaranteeing that you can deliver whatever the person asks for, but being asked and being heard will go a long way to helping them feel good. Asking this question of yourself is pretty powerful too. I urge you all at this time to practice compassion and understanding with others, particularly yourselves. We are often hardest on ourselves, and at times like this particularly, this is what we need most. If you find yourself beating yourself up, stop and ask, what would I say to my own best friend in this situation? My focus right now is to work with leaders to support them and how they are leading themselves, and in turn how they are leading their teams to achieve their goals, realize their potential, and improve their well-being. I have scheduled a couple of complimentary online sessions in the coming weeks, which I'll share along with summary of these tips following the webinar. I also have a couple of spaces opening for one-on-one coaching with those of you who want some support in this area, and can facilitate these leadership and well-being conversations with teams or present to large groups in an interactive and engaging way in platforms such as Zoom. Therefore, geography is not a barrier. For me personally, I'm focusing on what I can control and what is certain, and having faith that we will prevail in the end, and about taking each day at a time. But I am really excited about the opportunity to expand my work to the world rather than confining myself to New Zealand, because my work will enable me to do that. But if you need some help to be the best leader you can be and take care of your well-being, just feel free to get in touch and fire through any questions you have there. Thank you.